Hello, Internet friends. Chris Masto here. Let's talk about fuses and datasheets for a minute. I mentioned in the fuse video on the Mikey Pipes channel that reputable fuse manufacturers will give you all of the information about their fuses. And here's an example for a Bussmann blade type fuse. As you can see in this datasheet, you've got all the, not only what it's made out of, but the ratings, the operating temperatures, and so on and so forth. And then on page 2, this is the time current characteristic curves, average melt time here. So this is the really interesting chart that gives you the answer to the question that we had, which is how long can I expect this fuse to work at a given current? So on this chart, we got kind of three things going on. Across the bottom is current in amps, and then we have time in seconds here on the vertical axis, and then a bunch of these black lines, one for each different fuse rating. So the way you read this kind of thing is you find the fuse you're interested in. So let's say we've got our 3 amp fuse here, and then you follow this line, right? So you ignore all the other black lines. Apologies for my mouse drawing skills, but this is the line that represents the behavior of that 3 amp fuse. So we clean this up here. Let's say, for example, that we put 4 amps into that 3 amp fuse. What would we expect it to do? Well, you read up the 4 amp line here until you hit the 3 amp fuse, and then you read across, if you can draw a straight line. And so it's just a bit under 10 seconds. Now this is a logarithmic scale, so you can see each one of these divisions is 10 times larger. But that's a bit under 10 seconds. So I would say, if you put 4 amps into your 3 amp fuse, it should blow in under 10 seconds. What about 5? So 5 amps here, let's say we go up, and you're going to hit that 3 amp line here-ish, and you can see that is under 1 second. So the time has gone down considerably, and then again, 6 amps, 7 amps, and so forth. So by the time we're down, you can also answer the question the other way, right? 1/10 of a second, how much current would we need to put in? Somewhere around, let's say, 11 amps. So, and then, same thing with these other ones, right? So you could look it up for the 5 amp, the 10 amp, etc. Hopefully that's pretty clear at that point. The other thing that's interesting about this is if you look at how this goes up, right, at some point it's not going any further to the left, right? So at around this point here, you could probably safely say that if you have anything here or under, right, it's never going to hit this line. So let's say around 3.8 amps, you could probably run indefinitely through this fuse. So for a 3 amp fuse, we'll probably handle 3.8 without ever blowing. So anyway, that's the idea behind these curves and these data sheets. And if you buy from a fuse manufacturer that provides the data, then they're going to have some quality control to make sure that this is the way their product operates. If you're buying from who knows and there's no data available, well, it might be a fuse, it might work, it might not. In my case, I'm perfectly happy to have a box of assorted fuses that I've got, like, I forgot what's in there. Let me see. 250 fuses for $12 because I don't know what I'm going to run into. So it's handy to have that around as opposed to having to buy them when I need them. But, if I had a piece of equipment that I really cared about, yeah, I probably would go for something that's a bit more of a name brand. Anyway, I don't want to talk too long. I want to make this a quick one. So before I forget, though, if you're a new subscriber to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Wait. If you're new to my channel and you're not subscribed, I really would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of practice plugging this, but it's really important. Turns out, if you ask people to subscribe, you get a lot more subscribers. If you forget to say it, then, people forget to click the button. So apologize for the little ad at the end. Everybody does it, and now I'm doing it too. But that's all I got to say. I will see you in the next one. Bye.